Okay, so what we're going to do today is we've created a canvas. We've talked about how you can hold down a cursor and it'll open up the tools that are embedded in each tool. You can tell that by this black triangle right here. We're going to learn about the selection tools today. And one thing that you need to know is that Control plus D will deselect. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to hold down your cursor and I want you to select the elliptical tool, and I want you to hold and drag and create a circle. And you can see that within, I call these marching ants. Within the marching ants, that's your editable region. So if I were to, and you don't have to do this right now, but if I select my paintbrush and start painting, it's only going to paint in the area in which I have selected, right? So I'm going to hit Control Z and undo my last action. If you don't like if you want to get rid of the marching ants, you hold down Control and press D to deselect, and then that'll take it away. Okay. Um, so that's something to make note of is whenever you have marching ants and you're working on something, whenever you want to get rid of the marching ants, you can hit Control, hold down Control, and press D, and then that will deselect it. Okay. So give it a shot. Go ahead and make a circle and then hit Control D to deselect it and get used to that. All right. Now, once you've done that, I want you to deselect it and I want you to make a circle in the upper left-hand corner. We're going to slowly but surely make a face using the selection tools. Once you have the circle, I want you to click on the paint bucket right here. And when you click on the paint bucket, I want you to click the color in the foreground right here. Click on it, and then this is the color picker. This is where you get to choose your color of your paint bucket. So the most vibrant colors will be in the upper right hand corner, but you can place it wherever. I would recommend in the upper right hand corner. And then you can use this slider and move it up and down, and whatever color appears here will transition to your color. So click OK, choose any color you'd like, and then with your paint bucket selected, click on it, color it in, and then hit Control D to take away this marching ants. Go ahead and do that as well for your second eye. Create that, click back on your paint bucket, and then color that in the same color, and then hit Control D to deselect. So now we have two eyes. Next, hold down your cursor and select the rectangle marquee tool, and I just want you to make a small rectangle, and this is going to be the nose. And I want you to color in the nose a different color. So we're getting practice changing the color using the color picker. So we can click on the paint bucket, change the color down here. Remember, if you want a darker shade of that same color, just move it down here, or you can leave it up here and change it to a different color. So change it to a color of your choice, and then click inside and hit Control D to take away the marching ants. The next selection tool that we're going to do, once you're done with the nose, you're going to hold down the lasso tool, and we have three tools. The first thing I want to show you is the freehand lasso tool, and this is just a freehand selection tool. And anywhere you let go, it will automatically select that point. So if you make a circle, a semicircle or half circle, and you let go, it'll automatically bridge that gap. Okay? Remember, if you mess up, hit Control D and take away the marching ants. But go ahead and make some sort of mouth and go to your color picker or your paint bucket and color picker. Choose a different color and color that in. And then hit Control D. Okay? Now, the next tool I wanted to show you is if you hold down your lasso tool and check the polygonal tool, this is a great tool. I want you to make the eyebrows. This selection tool is great for selecting straight, anything that has a lot of straight lines, straight edges to it. You can double click to create the marching ants. I'll do that again. You click once, it sticks, click again, right? Just in straight lines. And then you can either connect it to the beginning point or double click. And select your color picker, choose a different color, and the paint bucket, and color that in. Control D, deselect, and I want you to try that again with the second eyebrow. Alright? And double click. And you can color in the eyebrows the same color. Okay? Control D. Now, the next thing I want to show you is the Magic Wand tool is a great tool for selecting solid colors. This is a selection tool that if I just click on a solid color, it'll select that. Right? So if you need to select something that's all in one color or a similar color, you can click on it, and it's a really quick way to select objects that have similar colors or the same color. Okay? But for now, I want you to click on your selection brush, not the quick selection brush. We'll do that next exercise, but the selection brush. And this is you just paint in whatever you want selected. If you go up here, you can change your brush size, rotate it to and make it bigger, or you can make the size smaller, your brush size smaller, depending on what you're looking for. Okay, so go ahead and let's say make like a tongue using the selection brush, and go ahead and color that in maybe a pink. And if I click on it, you can see that it only colors that in. Well, just click over the mouth portion as well to color the tongue in completely. Last thing I want you guys to do is I want you to select your brush tool, and your brush tool is very similar to MS Paint. You can select, I want you to select white, right? And the white is in the upper left-hand corner. And what I want you to do is, using your brush tool, and we've selected white, go ahead and make it a little bit bigger, and I just want you to color in the eyes. And the paint brush is just like a paintbrush you use in Microsoft Paint. You can kind of paint in. If you want a larger brush size, you can see that this is larger compared to something like that. Alright, and then what I want you to do is select black. So you can click right here, and black is in the bottom left-hand corner. Click OK, and draw in some goofy eyes. Oops. If you mess up, you can hold down Control and press Z, and that'll undo your last action. So if you make a mistake, you can either go to Edit, Undo, and that's the same thing as hitting Control Z. So if you ever make a mistake, Control Z. If you make a few mistakes, Control Z, Control Z. That'll help you out tremendously. So go ahead and paint in some wacky eyes. Okay, just like so. And that's going to conclude our tutorial for selection tools. We use the rectangle and elliptical marquee tool. We use the lasso, polygonal. I showed you the magic wand tool, and then we used the selection brush tool. Okay? So to save this, you can save this into your Photoshop folder under a JPEG. To do that, File, Save As, and when you're organizing your structure, your folder structure, it's nice to have a JPEG and a PSD file. I'll explain what these are later on. But in your JPEG folder, you can change the format to a JPEG. We don't have any layers, so you can change the format to JPEG, and then you can rename that, selection tool lesson 1, if you'd like. And then when you hit save as a JPEG, you have a JPEG options. If you shift this over down here, the file size is going to be small. If you shift this slider to the right, it's going to be a lot bigger. So depending on what the image quality you want, to the right is going to be a larger file size, to the left it's going to be smaller. So for the most part, I like to have it just all the way to the right. And hit OK, and then now you've saved it.